It's that time of year again, that time when we take a look at the year that was to rank and order all the greatest things that happened before we wipe the slate and our minds clean of the previous 365 days. Now, certain movies out there are basically shoo-ins for Oscar glory, while others go sadly overlooked. So on today's episode of The Dan Cave, we're gonna shine a bright-ass light on the very best movies that went overlooked, underappreciated, and straight-up underrated in 2017. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. Now this movie is like The Witcher chugged a Red Bull, which is to say it was an absolute blast and deeply strange. Guy Ritchie's King Arthur is basically the best video game movie I've ever seen, and it's not even based on a video game. With charismatic characters, a weird coven of murderous cave witches, and frenetic fight scenes, King Arthur is a gonzo reimagining of Arthurian legend, and some of the most fun I've had in theaters all year. Don't believe what Rotten Tomatoes tells you, it's a great-ass movie.
Come on, lads, chop chop.
Power Rangers. Now this movie was so much better than it had any right to be. While I would have appreciated maybe some more morphin time, Power Rangers is still incredibly fun, playing out like a Super Sentai version of The Breakfast Club. The new Rangers are all likable in their own way, but it's honestly Elizabeth Banks who steals the show as Rita Repulsa. She is clearly at an all-you-can-eat scenery buffet, and she came hungry. Last but not least, Power Rangers also features the single best use of product placement since Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme! Krispy Kreme. This is a special place.
I don't feel at home in this world anymore. No, that's not me being really honest with you, that's me talking about a movie you should see. The world is full of complete and utter assholes. This is an essential truth that writer-director Macon Blair realizes and uses to darkly comedic effect, and I don't feel at home in this world anymore. When Melanie Lynskey's Ruth gets fed up by all the BS the world keeps serving her on a silver platter, she teams up with her nunchuck-wielding weirdo of a neighbor, played by Elijah Wood, and the two of them set out to find justice, or at least some semblance of satisfaction. What follows, though, is a wild rabbit hole full of mayhem, mischief, and murders most foul. So in other words, it's a must-watch.
Well, I didn't see it.
The Lure. If you see one psychosexual Polish mermaid musical this year, make it The Lure. Originally released in 2015, The Lure finally made its way stateside this year. Now, the wickedly weird movie dives into Hans Christian Andersen's mermaid mythology through the lens of 1980s European nightclubs. The film follows two sisters, one of whom has a love of music, the other of which has a love for devouring human flesh, as they find themselves in the clutches of an exploitative nightclub owner. What follows is a genre-bending musical mashup that'll have you scratching your head, tapping your toes, and pumping your fist in inexplicable joy at just how damn good it is. Ingrid Goes West. Now imagine, if you will, if someone made Swim Fan or Single White Female bet all about social media superstardom and stalking. And there you have Ingrid Goes West. When Aubrey Plaza's Ingrid becomes obsessed with Elizabeth Olsen's Instagram blogger Taylor, she moves across the country on a Don Quixote-like quest to become her best friend. Except things quickly take a very dark turn as this exploration of obsession in the social media age unfolds in a savage, hilarious, and horrifying fashion. So remember to watch this movie and also to smash that like button. Brigsby Bear. Remember that one show from your childhood that no one else seems to remember? Well, what if that show had secretly been made by your dad, Mark Hamill, because he and your mom kidnapped you as a child and raised you in a doomsday bunker? Then the cops found you and brought you back to your biological parents, and then you tried to make a movie to finish the story started by the TV show because you needed closure? Well, that's exactly what happens in Brigsby Bear, and it's a beautiful, frequently funny film about the cathartic power of storytelling and the healing power of friendship to overcome trauma. It's also the story of a weird-ass public access show that I desperately wish was real.
And please, discard leftover food rations in the yellow bin, not the red one.
Logan Lucky. Call it Logan Lucky, call it Ocean 7-Eleven, call it whatever you want, as long as you see Steven Soderbergh's Southern Fried Heist movie about two West Virginia brothers cursed with bad luck who are played by Channing Tatum and Adam Driver. This not-so-dynamic duo teams up with a hilariously bleached blonde Daniel Craig who plays a convict that helps them rob a NASCAR track on its busiest day of the year. With so many twists, turns, double crosses, and satisfying slow burn reveals, Logan Lucky is a meticulously crafted good time. It'll keep you alternately laughing and trying to figure out who's outsmarting who until the bitter end.
I'm about to get naked back here, so no bacon.
The Red Turtle. Produced by Studio Ghibli and Wild Bunch, The Red Turtle is a nearly wordless masterpiece. It's the most beautiful film ever made about falling in love with a turtle and starting a life together. Except this turtle is a magical being, and the man who falls for her is shipwrecked on an island, so it's not weird, it's nice. You monster. It's sweetly surreal, touching, and just a breathtaking piece of animation. And if someone asks why you're openly weeping at the end, you just tell them to shut up and get you some medicine for your turtle allergy. Free Fire. What it lacks in narrative complexity, it makes up for an outsized charm, ridiculous physical comedy, and more bullet casings than the floor of Nakatomi Plaza at Christmas. Free Fire follows a bunch of scummy, sleazy criminals in leisure suits trying to pull off an arms deal with another bunch of scummy, sleazy criminals in leisure suits. And it shows what happens when people with big egos have itchy trigger fingers. Basically, you get an all-out shootout where no one emerges unscathed. So come for Oscar winner Brie Larson, but stay for Sharlto Copley at his absolute Sharlto Copleyest. This dude went for broke.
I'm not running a fucking pizza delivery service.
And those are some of the most underrated and underappreciated films of 2017. But what do you think? What would be on your list? Let me know in the comments below and give me an underappreciated thumbs up while you're there. That's pretty good. Now be sure to like and subscribe or else you might miss next week's show about the story of a mutant with razor-sharp claws who teams up with Josh Hartnett to pull off the heist of a lifetime at a NASCAR track run by dueling mob bosses in Logan Lucky #11. Until next time, keep on digging. Let's open up the old mailbag, shall we? At Andrew J. No asks, if Team Nerdist and Geek and Sundry had a battle to the death, who would reign supreme? Well, that's a great question, Andrew. It's one you could probably answer by watching, 99% of our Team Nerdist sketches. But if it came to a rumble in real life, I have a distinct feeling that when the dust settled, you would find a mountain of corpses belonging to Nerdist and Geek and Sundry alike, with Jessica Chobot sitting atop it drinking wine out of Kyle Hill's bleached skull. How to get bleached? He just died. I don't know, you tell me. And please, tell me, who do you think would win? Let me know in the comments below and I'll see you guys next time.